All right, guys, welcome back. I hope the picture's clear. We're getting our steps in, and we're gonna finish where we left off. My Zooks date. So for those of you who haven't looked at part 1, this is part 2, and I'll try to bring you in on a few things. I'll try to recap a few things. So I met a lady, and we talked on Zooks for a while, a couple of days. Then we talked on the phone, then we got on FaceTime. Then eventually we decided to meet each other, and I flew out to Florida. And that was the first date. So the first date, she rented a really nice suite. We got to hang out and go eat, and hung around Orlando, and that was pretty much it. We spent our time in Orlando. But the second, I got hiccups. But the second date, I went back out to Florida. It was nice, but some things I left out of the first conversation. When I went to Florida, it was like the lady was an IT lady, and she knew everything about me already, in the sense that while we were talking, we were exchanging photos back and forwards. And during one of the photos, she seen my work outfit, my hat or whatever. And all the while she had been telling me that she works in IT. So I wasn't really paying attention to it, because like I said in the first video, I didn't think I would ever meet her. So it wasn't that big of a deal, And she told me, she worked in IT. That's how I originally got to go see her. And why she was pressing me to come see her, is because she had run all of my paperwork. She ran my name. She knew I was married to. She knew how many kids I had, where I worked at, where I lived. And I had already been talking crazy and bragging and boasting, because I felt like I wasn't gonna meet her. She knew, I told her I wasn't married. She knew I was still married, because she looked it up. And then I had to explain that away, and she knew that also. So it was kind of weird, She knew more about my background than even I did. All right, so at this point, she was like, she knew all my information. She had no problem meeting with me or anything, because she had already decided that she knew all there was that she needed to know about me. And on top of that, it was like, she was like, you have stuff to lose. You have a house, a job, and kids, and this and that. And she's like, basically, I trust you, because I know more about you probably than you know about yourself. And it was strange, Yeah. But I don't know.
Hello.
How are you? I'm doing well. So she knew all these things about me, and that's why she agreed to meet with me, and she reimbursed me my airfare to lock in the deal. You know, got out there, took me to Marshall's and Ross and buying me like clothes for the weather, because apparently I didn't pack well enough, and she wanted to put me in something else. She's like, I see potential, you know. She's like, I see the potential in you. And I'm just like, what is this, you know? Because that's not something I'm used to. You know, somebody coming out saying something like that. It was totally caught me off guard. So, yeah, when that happened, it freaked me out. Because, you know, you don't expect that kind of stuff. And that happened. And then, you know, she was so far the person that she said she was. It shocked me. Just like when I told her to get on FaceTime, she wasted 1 second to do that. She was like, most people don't want to get on FaceTime. You want to get on FaceTime. She was like, every guy I've ever talked to, they don't ever want to get on FaceTime. She was like, you did. So, one thing led to another. And like I said, got out there, had a fantastic time. She was the best host. I mean, there's so much I could say, but it's like she was just awesome. And like I said, I was the one that couldn't put the pieces together in my head. Like it just didn't. I don't know. Didn't seem like it was something that should be. Because I felt like I can't afford this, girl. What am I doing here? So she was like, you ain't got to worry about it. I got you. And I was just like, man, this is absolutely crazy to me. Because every woman I've dated has needed me. And I guess she needed me too, in a way. But I just felt like I was like a toy, kind of, you know? So, yeah, I tried to make it not work. And, you know, finally I succeeded, because I just started behaving badly, you know? I wanted it to end, you know, because I just didn't see no way forward, you know? Me living in Chicago, her living in Florida, I just didn't see no way. So I didn't want to slow her down, you know? So that's I mean, I just looked at the realness, you know, of the whole situation. And I was like, nah, she's on the right path. She's on the, you know, she's got her shit together. So let's let her keep her shit together, because she don't need to mess with me right now. And she was like, nah, I know if I help you out, if I get you in my clutches, I could transform your situation, because you have promise. And I'm just like, man, I don't know you. You're telling me a whole bunch of stuff. She's just like, well, hey, it's you. So I don't know. I called it quits. You know, she's crying. We go back to the airport. She's crying all the way back to the airport. And just, I'm feeling like shit, because, you know, I couldn't, there was, you know, no matter what I wanted, I knew what the truth was, you know, unsustainable. So why lead her on? I wouldn't want nobody doing that shit to me, so I didn't feel like I'm gonna do something like that. I didn't feel like need to do that to anyone else, because I damn sure wouldn't like it. And all of the gifts she showered me with, all of the hospitality she showed me, you know, I knew if we couldn't be together, I definitely wanted to be her friend. But she was like, you or nothing at all. And I was just like, you know what? Since I couldn't sustain the relationship, I just said forget it, you know. I just let her know that it was something that I wasn't going to be able to do. I wasn't going to be able to, you know, continue flying out there. I got kids. I got a mortgage, you know. She was just like, forget all that. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. And she was like, you might as well forget it, because, you know, your ex-wife is going to take all of that. And she was right. She was right. She was right. But, you know, I was stuck in a phase where I was just like, you know what, nah. Things are going to correct themselves. And, you know, my ex is cool. My ex was not cool. All's fair in love and war. She was hot. You know, because I wasn't like as affected. When it was time to break up and move on, I was like, let's do it. You're not happy, I'm not happy. Let's do it. You know? But meeting that rich woman, it flipped me on my head. I found somebody who really didn't need me, who wanted me. And it was obtuse. It was just like, nah, no, like the commercial, no. It was just a tough pill for me to swallow. She was just like, I want you. And I was just like, for what? Why? You don't know me. What are you looking at? Show me. What's the qualities you find in me? Tell me. You know? And she was just like, you got something. There's something about you. And I was just like, man. That first night was wild though, because she was like, you ain't gonna get in here with me? She had 2 queen-size beds. And she was like, you're not even gonna sleep in the same room with me? How you gonna fly all the way to Florida and not want to sleep with me? And I said, like that. I said, because this, like, you're like, you know, you're kind of like saying, hey, I paid for this. You know, like, I feel weird. I didn't want to do it. But eventually we got around to it, but it just was like, man. And then the lady in Minnesota she wanted the same thing. How you expect me to perform when you got a gun in your hand? Talking about hold it, you can hold it and touch it and this. I'm like, where am I at? You know, I'll tell you guys about that story. We'll finish this one up and then we'll save that story for the next time. The next walk and talk, I guess. But yeah, you know, dating off the internet can be some strange stuff. You know, because you can meet some interesting people. No doubts about it. And you got to be careful too, because people are strange. And you just never think that you would meet someone who wants to go straight in. You know, that's like they have your information sheet. It's like it made it hard for me to, you know, to want to lay down. But I'm like, damn, how can I do that? You make me feel weird. You know all my whole life, damn near. And you shouldn't, but you do. So that was a bit strange for me. A lot strange for me. So Yeah, it was crazy, but it was interesting, you know, a learning situation. I learned something, you know. Yeah, you be careful what you wish for. You might just actually get it, you know. But when you get your wish, I don't think if you're not specific about your wish, you might get your wish. But you better try to be more specific about the details of your wish. You know, I mean, be as specific as possible, because you just might get your wish. And you might be like, man, this is everything I wish for. It's just in the wrong package. Or this is something I can't really afford. So, yeah, it's something you know. It's different. It's really, really different. Because, like I said, I wasn't expecting anything. You know, when you meet a rich person, male or female, and you come from an average background, it's already strange. But then, when it's a male and female thing, and she happens, you know, and it's a female that has the money, and I'm not saying I don't have any cash at this point. I'm just saying that she's in a better situation than me, and it made me feel all kind of weird. Like, nah, I can't be no man in this relationship. That's how I actually felt. Like, I can't be no man in this relationship. Shit. Anything I could buy for her, she could buy herself. You know? And then that was one side of it. Then it's like, if I don't do what I need to do for her, shit, she can get anything to do what she want. Because when we went to Disney, dudes was checking her out, looking at her, and I was just like, man, so my head gotta be on the swivel. That's one part of it. Then I gotta think about, what can I get this lady? Christmas, New Year's, birthdays. Then she's got a daughter. I got sons and a daughter. So it's like, how does this connect? What is this, you know? Like, I went to sleep and I woke up, I'm in this situation. Like, I knew I'd been talking to her, but I never thought it was building up to anything. But apparently it did. It built up to something, all right. It built up to a relationship. And it was just like, you know what? Why not? But I tell you, that was probably one of the strangest situations I had been in. You know, when it comes to dating. You know, you find yourself with a rich woman or a rich guy, pace yourself. You know, Lord, I don't know what your expectations should do, but I don't know. I really don't have any advice. Because, like I said, I ended my situation myself because I didn't feel like I was worthy. And I didn't want to, I don't know what the hell. I have no words for it. It's just that she was out of my league. And, you just got to know, I think. Maybe I did the right thing, maybe I did the wrong thing. But I did that thing. And she's one of my friends, but we don't talk anymore. But, she's on my page, I'm on her page or whatever, but we don't talk. That's all of the women, as a matter of fact. We're all friends in the virtual space, but we don't talk at all. We don't talk anymore. But yeah, that's how that goes. I found that when a woman likes you, and you turn her down, you have unleashed a very angry person that is emotionally charged for battle in a lot of cases. Not all, but in some cases. And that's what happened to me. Those emotional scars, she didn't like it. So, yeah. Gotta be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. You just never know. Just be careful. Yep. Be careful. Because you don't really know how much a person likes you. Just like they don't know how much you like or dislike them. So be mindful, you know, when you are dealing with other people, because you just don't know what they're thinking or how they see you. You know, because everybody that knows you has a different version of you that they know. Everybody knows a different version of you. And depending on what time they met you, when they met you, that's another version. So, gotta be mindful of these kind of things. I know it's easier said than done. That's why I try not to go around people or be around places, you know, where there are a lot of people. Because I feel emotions. I can read people. And sometimes I don't want to read people. I don't want to be around people because I don't want to feel a certain way. You know, if I know somebody's feeling bad or down, I don't want to be around because it's going to make me feel bad or down. I don't want to absorb that energy. So I stay to myself. It's just easier. You know? It's just easier. But anyway, guys, we're going to end it here. And I'll be telling you guys about my story. That's probably going to be the next story I'm going to tell you guys about. The Minnesota date, how that went. That was obtuse as well. But yeah, in Minnesota, that's the gun story. I'll bring you in on that one. And then we'll move from there and go to the California story. All right, thank you. Like, share, subscribe if you like the content. I got the hiccups. Like, share, subscribe if you like the content. Make some comments. Tell me what you do, you don't like. Let me know what you want to see in Chicago while I'm here. And then get ready for me to leave and tell me what you want me to, where you want me to go. What you want to see in Vietnam, what you want to see in the Philippines, what you want to see in Thailand. You know? Make me aware. What would you like me to cook? You know, my webpage is almost done. And it's I eat, I cook, I travel. You know, so you guys will be seeing that. And I got some booking.com and buy me a coffee and support my channel, all kinds of stuff that's going to be on there. We're just trying to get everything finalized, hook all the links. I've been, for the most part, been the only person, you know, trying to do everything, juggle all these hats. So it's taking a little while, but it is in the works. Give me some time. But until then, I appreciate the support. If you like the content, like I said, hit the notification button so you'll know when I'm dropping new content. And like always, I appreciate it, guys. You know, stay healthy, stay wise, don't do anything stupid, stay out of trouble, and help somebody out if you can.